Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be taking a look into a system that could bring in potential blizzard conditions across the Central Plains into the upper Midwest. Also, with this system here, this could bring in some severe weather across the Southern Plains, to the Mississippi Valley, into the Midwest, into the Tennessee Valley, and even the Lower Ohio Valley as well. Now, let's go ahead and get started looking into the GFS model. We'll take a look into the winter side of things first, since we haven't really talked about winter in a little bit here. So currently we have a trough coming in, and that's currently in California, Nevada, bringing us some snow. And yes, I am aware that the Sierra Mountains in California did get quite a bit of snow, which they really needed pretty badly up over there. I think they got 6 to 7 feet, I think, or less. So I'm not 100% sure on that. But your low pressure system will be coming out of the Rockies here later on. Um, Today, well, actually not today. There is a chance for some severe weather across the Southern Plains there, which we'll take a look into that very quickly. The SPC's got slight risk for severe storms, mainly in Texas, central Texas, up near the Oklahoma border. Main threats, there's a small tornado threat uh, by the Texas-Oklahoma border, damaging winds and large hail as well. So there might be a chance for a few supercells in that area as well. And we'll take a look into future radar very quickly for those areas in there. And later on today, as you can see here, you got some supercellular type storms that do develop here. As you can see here by looking at the latest HER model. Well, actually not the latest, but very close. You see here for some thunderstorms here and even down here as well. Now, I'm going to show you guys why this is a widening out view in just a moment. But let's go ahead and move back to the GFS here. Here comes your low pressure developing out of the Rockies there, 998 millibar low. And as that comes out, you got a pretty decent band of snow, anywhere from Colorado for Nebraska, South Dakota, Minnesota there. Can see a decent amount of snow. Now, most of the snowfall looks to be staying around Colorado, Wyoming, and Nebraska at this point because this system will be ejecting very fast to the northeast. And there you go. Next 6 hours, it's already in upper Michigan. So this system will be moving very quickly. It's not going to be a slow moving system. Next, see there might be some severe weather potential overnight on Thursday across the lower Ohio Valley and the Tennessee Valley. We'll keep an eye on that. But let's kind of back this up here. Um, and oh yeah, let's take a look into those snowfall amounts first. So this is your total snowfall. You eventually should start to see a lot of snow pop up. And yeah, not a lot of snow when a system's moving very fast, actually. There's some spots that's showing a foot of snow across Nebraska. There's even some blizzard warnings that's issued for portions of Colorado and Wyoming in those mountain ranges there. Those guys could see potentially up to 16 inches of snow. But down at the plains, probably some of the highest spots might be able to see up to 10 inches of snow at best. And as you get into Wisconsin, there's likely to be a lot of snow up there because this system would be moving very fast. And as you can see there, it's only 1 to 3 inches. Baby Severus might be able to see up to 4 inches of snow. Let's take a look into the European model. As you can see, there's severe weather across Oklahoma and Texas later this evening. Your low pressure starts to develop off the Rockies, which is actually very slow. Then it starts to eject eventually. Yeah, bam, it's out of here. And you got a nice cold front here. Very long cold front there as well. Now, snowfall totals again, it's likely to be a lot around Wisconsin, but it's showing a little bit higher amounts for the European model. But again, most snowfall amounts should be staying in kind of around Nebraska, Wyoming, and Colorado. It's where I do predict most of the snow. Maybe not so much for Nebraska, but in those mountains, definitely. But that's it for the winter side of things. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This may have a chance of becoming showing some blizzard conditions. Well, of course for the mountains, but in let's turn on these winds here. We'll turn on wind gusts here. Here comes your low pressure starts to really deepen. Yeah, here's your low pressure system. You got snow going across over here. You got some wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour, but sustained winds, however, it's about 20 to 30 miles per hour. So it's near or kind of close to blizzard type of a storm system there, but we'll see about that. And there's the GFS there showing a little bit stronger winds on the backside, but again, it's still close to blizzard type of conditions there. So let's move out the winter side of things here. Let's move on to the severe weather, which is looking to be pretty concerning tomorrow. As we look into day 2 tomorrow, which is Wednesday, we got the enhanced risk for severe weather across um, west central Texas in near the Oklahoma border there. Main threats would be damaging winds, tornadoes. You can see damaging winds is what's leading to that enhanced risk, and there's even a hail threat as well there with that 15%. So we really need to keep an eye on this. I would not be surprised if this enhanced risk gets pushed a little bit further to the northeast and that tornado threat will get upgraded to a 10%. At least this is what my forecast is looking like. And as you can see here, the enhanced risk is a little bit further to the north. It's actually a little bit larger. The damage to winds is at 30%, tornadoes is 10%, and large hail is at 15%. So that's basically kind of my forecast there uh, for tomorrow. But you can also see there's something a little different. Let's move on to the east here. I actually have a slight risk for severe weather across most of Kentucky here. And the SPC has not highlighted an area there yet. However, they did mention about it right down here at the last paragraph here in their information down here. And I definitely see a chance for some severe weather. At least these high risk models definitely do show that the NAM 3KM, and the HERB model both show a chance for some supercell activity over here caught around my areas. And some of these areas did see severe weather not too long ago. Um, and there was a tornado by Williamsburg, which is right down here, in which that was the EF1 from the last severe weather event. But the damaging winds will be the primary threat, but tornadoes might need to be upgraded a little bit. And there's also a small large hail threat in there as well, which I'll show you guys that in just a moment, but let's focus more on this here that looks to be very concerning there. Here's your severe weather ingredients checklist. Everything's pretty favorable at this point here. Your low of jet looks good. Cape, there's plenty of that. There's definitely a lot of wind shear and helicity. Lap rates look good. Vorticity, dew points of lift index look all pretty favorable for some severe weather activity. And let's take a look here. Let's first kind of zoom in to South Central United States. The reason why I have been a national view, which I just realized it's not really a good view, but we'll look over here again for later today. And we can take a look into some forecast soundings as well. This is basically your future radar here, your HERB model. You can see there might be a supercell in Texas there. We'll take a look into that. Marginal severe. Looking over here, if you have this red line kind of moving up like this here, if it's just like a big angle, that's definitely efficient for some tornado activity there. At least that's something I've learned a little bit. That's something to really to focus on. I think it's a hodograph or something like that. I'm not 100% sure what that's called, but that's something I learned a little bit. And you can see there with that supercell there, it's showing some very large hail there, and that's not the only storm we have out here. You got storms out here, and there's even a couple storms back in New Mexico, and probably as far north as the Texas Panhandle there. And there, you got some storms starting to be coming into a squall line here. This is coming into tomorrow. And then new storms try to fire up across Texas over here again. So this is kind of Wednesday evening here, and yeah, that's a pretty good decent forecast sounding there. But let's move on to our, well, actually, before we do that, let's take a look into the supercell composite or composite. So this is later today. As you can see here, we actually got some oranges showing up. That's about 16 to 18. Keep in mind, this is very high res, so this is not widespread. Keep in mind of that. So showing a 12, but it's really more of a 14. Oh, I just saw a 17. I don't think we're going to find out again. We'll get 16. How about that? So 7 hours from now. And a pretty good forecast sounding here by the looks of it. And looking to the affected layer, there's a chances for, it's a low chance. It's between 2 to 3, but there could be a chance for a PDS tornado, but it's pretty low. But I don't think we'll see a PDS tornado later today. And, that kind of diminishes a squall line, dramatically decreases the tornado threat, but it does increase the damage wind threat, and the atmosphere really starts to recover here. Showing a 21. Wow. This is about as far out as I can go. Hour 36. And again, pretty good forecast sounding here. And I think there's something going on down here in Texas here that I've actually been seeing here, at least by one of the models, is actually showing a capping across portions of southern Texas. At least by one of the models has been showing it. So we may have to keep an eye on that. The capping is where you have this red line and this white dotted line. When the red line crosses the white dotted line, that's a cap. That means there's a warm air aloft here, so storms can't develop there when you got a warm air aloft. You want a cold air aloft there. And yeah, that's very high. A 24, that's pretty ridiculous. Let's take a look. This will be our last forecast, and as you can see here, it's actually pretty close to being capping. Again, we need to keep an eye on it, but look all that cape. That's very high. About nearly 3,700 cape. That's a lot. So there's definitely a lot of instability in place for supercells that could develop and for some severe weather. Let's move on to the Ohio Valley here. This is an area that we need to kind of keep an eye on as well here. At least for supercell potential is actually there from the HER model. As we go into later tomorrow evening, you actually see here your supercell composite actually goes up, and you actually have some yellow showing up here. You got some pockets of it. There's even a 12 I saw over here earlier. That's actually nearby my area, but we're not going to take it. This is just a forecast here. This is not really going to happen, but this is kind of gives us an indication of what could happen or what may happen later on. But look at this here. That's definitely we have that type of angle here. Definitely sufficient for at least a possibility of a tornado. We actually got plenty of cape here, a little bit of instability. Everything else looks good for potential supercell threat across. I actually know that area well. That's actually by Perryville, Kentucky. There. We'll move back to southwestern Kentucky. There's actually showing a 12 as well. We'll take a look into that as well. Again, very similar scenario here. The hodograph looks a little better. And again, the tornado threat's going to be pretty low. So, but supercells are a possibility as well. So we need to keep an eye on this very closely. And again, for around Nashville, you need to keep an eye on it as well. Because unfortunately, those guys have a chance for a supercell again. We'll take a look into the significant tornado parameters here. We'll take a look into future radar. And we'll end the video there. And yes, I'll be in the severe weather threat for tomorrow evening. Again, I did not get to see any severe weather. However, well, most of the severe weather actually missed me to the south. You got some pockets of Area 2, 1.3 there. So, small chance of a tornado there, and that's something that I really keep an eye on. So I may get a chance for a supercell. Who knows? This will be the first time if this does verify, if I do see a supercell. I don't know what's going on here, but that's probably not a good sign. And if I'm correct, I don't know. But let's take a look into the future radar. Oh yeah, updraft velocity. Should we look into that? Yeah. Let's take a look into the updraft velocity. This will give us a better idea if there's going to be like a higher tornado threat. Oh, there it goes, popping up. As you see there, it doesn't really show too much of updraft velocity. It's not a lot. But as you see there are very little slivers of some updraft velocity, so it's not a lot. So that's also another way indicating what the tornado threat. And the last thing we'll be taking a look into is your future radar. That's usually what I would call it. So we're skipping. Bye. And there's your supercell type thunderstorms developing here. So you guys potential supercell there. Might be a couple storms here. So we really need to keep an eye on this here. So Kentucky, stay aware, stay weather aware later tomorrow. Oh yeah, I forgot one thing here, and that's day 3. And keep in mind the severe weather threat will continue to push eastward on day 3, which is Thursday. You got a widespread marginal risk, anywhere from the Texas and Mexico border all the way up to Chicago. So it's a very widespread marginal risk area. About 45 million people are in effect of this marginal risk, but the slight risk is way much smaller, but only 6 million people in effect of this here. So expect this to change some more. Um, but day 2, we'll have an update later today. I'll say in Easter time it'd be about 1:30, I believe, in Easter time. So if you want to look into the SPC, their website is right up here. But anyways, guys, this is all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little bit severe weather update or this winter storm. The winter storm, it's been named as Pearl, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you really do like my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. If y'all guys got questions about this, you can put in the comment section down below. I will answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.